I think manifesting has become one of the most overcomplicated topics on YouTube. And in fact, I believe manifestation is the easiest thing on planet Earth once you figure out how to do it. And by the end of the video, I think you will understand why. And if you're new here, by the way, welcome back to Live Life Here in Terms. I'm Chad. So let's jump over to the computer so we can get this started. Now, I'm going to start very basic with you guys because I want to get you guys results. I really want you to understand this. So the first question we have to ask ourselves is, what is manifestation? Now, manifestation is simply expressing what you believe to be true. Okay? No matter what it is, whatever you assume to be true for you, you have to experience in your life. Okay? That's it. That's all. That's the simple definition, my friends. Listen, manifestation is not about attracting. It's not about forcing something to happen in your life. It's not about trying to make something happen. It's not about trying to get your dream house, your dream car, or money. It has nothing to do with that, my friends. Listen to what I said. Manifestation is all about expressing what you already accept as true for you. Okay? Now, this is where people get flubbed up. Okay? Because this is the kind of the dogma with law of attraction. Because people always want to point out, well, I had this negative thing happen to me, so law of attraction doesn't work. No, baby. Okay, remember, every universal law has a polar opposite. Okay, now remember this. It's the good or the bad, baby. It's the positive or the negative you're experiencing in your life that's coming to you. Listen, manifestation is simply expressing what you believe to be true. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. If you believe it to be true, you're going to experience it. Now we got to move on and talk about this word instant. When I talk about instant manifestation, what does it really mean? You see, the instant part has nothing to do with your outside world. And some of you out there, you're going to have some experience, or you're at least going to hear that you manifest from within out. There's nothing outside of you. Okay, does that make sense? There's nothing outside of you for you to go seek. There's nothing outside of you for you to try to make happen. Everything is from within you. Okay, so let me read it one more time. The instant part has nothing to do with your outside world, my friends. It has everything to do with your belief. A belief does not take time to change, baby. The moment you genuinely accept something as true, your mind immediately begins operating from that truth. There's no waiting period, okay? And listen, I love this word genuine. That's why I picked this word for this whole video. Because think about it this way, guys. If somebody is being genuine to you, how would you describe them? How would you describe that emotion? That genuine emotion? It means they're being real with you. Okay. If they're being sad with you and you say, well, that person's being genuine, that means that emotion was real. They're being real with you. So when I use the word genuine in this video, it means it's real for you. When you have a genuine belief, you truly believe it. You believe it to your core. And when we discuss instant manifestation, we have to ask ourselves, why is this true? Okay, so let's ask ourselves this. The big question, why? Because every decision you make comes from what you believe to be true. Isn't that true? Listen to this again. Every decision you make, everything you decide to do comes from what you believe to be true for you. Listen, if you believe I'm bad with money, you naturally make decisions from that belief. And the opposite is true as well. If that belief changes to I'm someone who manages money well, I'm someone that money just attracts to me, it just flows to me out of nowhere. Listen, you don't wait 6 months before thinking differently. Your next thought, your next decision, your next expectation comes from that new belief. Does that make sense? The change is immediate because the belief changed immediately. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Everything is from within you. Okay, you can change and alter your belief if it's a genuine belief, if it's a real belief, okay, then once you start operating from this belief, the change happens immediately. Does that make sense, my friends? Now let's move on to this word identity, because identity is a new word, a buzzword nowadays, but what does identity really mean? Identity is simply the collection of beliefs you accept about yourself and nothing more. Isn't it true? When you think about your whole identity, you as a whole person, you have a collection of beliefs wrapped around your whole life. What you believe to be true for you, what you believe that you can do and figure out, what you believe where your life is going to go, what direction it's going to go, what you deserve to have in your life. That's all wrapped around your identity. And to be more basic, that's all wrapped around just a collection of beliefs. That's it. And to go a little bit farther with identity, you have to understand these three things are interlinked. Okay, when we talk about your identity, that's just your collection of beliefs, but your collection of beliefs is wrapped around your self-image, which other people call it your concept of self, and it's wrapped around your inner conversations. What you murmur and complain about, what you talk to your friends about, what you secretly talk to yourself, what you secretly say, what you can do and not do, what you can achieve and not achieve. You have to understand, all these three things are interweaved together and it makes you. It makes your identity, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Now let's continue on. If your identity, self-image, and inner conversations are linked, okay, what is identity? Let's expand on this. Listen, if you believe I'm confident, that's part of your identity, baby. If you believe I'm always lucky or I'm always unlucky, that's part of your identity. If you believe I always quit, when the going gets tough, I always throw in the towel. When the going gets tough, I always run back to my comfort zone. Well, that's part of your identity. That's part of who you are. Okay, that's why you're getting results in those areas, because it's part of your identity. So identity isn't something mysterious. Okay, it's not some mythical thing out there we've never heard about before. Okay, it's simply what you currently accept as true about yourself. That's it. And let's throw in a visual here for a second. Now this is me. I used some AI here on the right hand side. That's actually a real picture of me. So I had to make myself all dirty and looking poor. I use myself that way I don't make people mad. But anyway, when we talk about identity, there's a poor version of you versus a rich version of you. You could sit there and say your poor is your current identity and you want to be the most successful version of you. You want to be the rich version of you. Okay, that's the verses. That's the two yous right here. Okay, but listen guys, this is how simple things are. Okay, this is how simple things can shift in your life. When we talk about poor versus rich, you know what it really comes down to? It literally comes down to your collection of beliefs you accept about yourself. That's it, baby. That's how simple this is. Okay, you ever read the book, The Razor's Edge? And the whole concept of the book is basically the poor versus the successful. And the separation, listen guys, the separation isn't huge. It isn't a huge gap. It comes down to a razor's edge. Like if you took a razor and just cut a piece of paper in half, that's the separation between you being poor and you being rich. But the separation is just a collection of beliefs. It's literally what you believe to be true about you. That's the separation. That's it. Now we got to kind of dive into the question, why can identity change instantly? Okay, when we talk about instant manifestation, how can I change my identity? Boop, instant. And this is because beliefs can change instantly. Remember what we said in the beginning of the video. Okay, it's about your beliefs. If you change your belief about yourself, everything changes instantly. Why? Because your decisions change instantly. Your actions change instantly. How you carry yourself changes instantly. And that's all connected to your beliefs. Okay, listen, because beliefs change instantly, the moment you genuinely stop accepting one belief and genuinely accept another, Your identity has already changed. You don't slowly become someone new. The new identity exists the moment the new belief is accepted. Okay, you notice through this, I use the word genuine again. Why did I use that word? When you're being genuine about something, you're being the real you. It's the real belief. Okay, it's to the root cause of you. You understand, okay? Listen, when you genuinely accept another belief, a new belief, because the old belief doesn't serve you, listen, your identity has already changed. Your identity has to adapt to that new belief because it's a real core emotion to you. It's a real core belief in you. It has to change. It has to alter. Let's go on to the last question. Okay, and this is the finale question, is why doesn't my life instantly change? Okay, and I think that flips back to the beginning of the video. Is when we say that you've been manifesting your whole life, manifesting is instant. Of course, you have the naysayers say, "Well, Chad, I don't believe you because I'm going through this gunk phase over here. You know, how can I attracted this?" Okay, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to go through this situation. So why am I going through it? Okay. So let's talk about this a little bit. Why doesn't my life instantly change? And this is what you got to understand. Because your life isn't creating your beliefs. Okay. Listen, what I mean by that, your life isn't creating your beliefs, is your outside world isn't creating your beliefs. Your beliefs come within you. Okay. This is a concept from within out. Life is a mirror, okay? Whatever you believe to be true for you on the inside is just a self-reflection of the outside world, my friend. That's what I mean in this one sentence, okay? Because your life isn't creating your beliefs. Listen, your beliefs are creating your choices. Your choices create your actions. Your actions create your habits. Your habits create your results. Your results always come after the belief, my friend, never before it. This little snippet right here, even if you pause this video, I want you to read this several times. Now let's go to the bottom here because I like this last sentence here. Your results always come after the belief. So what I mean by this is when a lot of you get into manifesting, law of attraction, law of assumption, you're doing it backwards, okay? So what you're doing backwards is if you want your dream house, you want more money, you want to be a millionaire, it doesn't matter what it is you have it flip-flopped. You want your dream house, but you think you don't have to change your identity. You think you don't have to change your beliefs about yourself. You think you don't have to change the collection of beliefs around yourself, around your identity, around your whole life. Your collection of beliefs makes you, okay? You think you don't have to change yourself and you're going to attract your dream house, your dream car, millions of dollars. That's why it don't work. Listen, what does it say? It says results always come after your belief, okay? What this means is you got to be the person first, then your dream house comes. Okay, you got to act like a millionaire first, then the millions of dollars come. You got to become a better person first, then the better life comes. That's what it means, my friends. Never before, never after. Okay? And now, as we wrap up this video, I really want to wrap it up with, I love what Neville Goddard said about this. I'm going to give you kind of an advanced training and kind of bonus training here at the very end. Okay, now this is advanced in living the end, but I'm not going to explain living in the end to you because what most people leave out of living the end, what they leave out of Neville Goddard entirety, I never even seen a video even share this about Neville Goddard, about living the end, how to be the most successful version of you, okay, is this right here. He said, how would you perceive your world? How would that version of you perceive your world? How would that version of you that has everything you want perceive your world? This is a very deep question. It's about your perception in life, okay? It's about how you perceive everything. See, that's your issue right now, because lots of times your perception is messed up. You don't like your life. You don't want to be here. You hate your town. You hate your job. You hate your coworkers. Okay. What are you focused on? You're focused on what you don't like, what you hate, what you don't like, what you hate. Okay. That's the trap you're into. That's your perception of your world. The perception of your world is your world sucks. Okay. And guess what? If that's your perception, that's what's coming to you. That's why Neville Goddard said, how do you perceive your world? Now let's flip it. You want to be the most successful version of you. You want to be a millionaire. Listen, how would a millionaire perceive their world? You want your dream house. How would you perceive your world if you already had your dream house? How would you perceive your world if you already had your dream car? I'm going to ask you a tricky question here. Doesn't it make sense that if you already had everything you want, you would perceive your world differently than you are right now? And if the answer is yes, my friends, that's the problem. How do you fix it? The fix is simple. The fix is more simple than you think it is. The fix is all you do is change your perception of your world. That's all you do. Is you sit back, you take a little bit of time for yourself, and you ask this question to yourself. If I had my dream house right now, how would I perceive my world? I would be happy. I would be carefree. I would be living my life. I would be hanging out with friends. I would be having more fun. I would be having get-togethers and family get-togethers. I would be having cookouts. Okay? But the question is, you have to do that now, today. Your perception of your world has to change, my friends. And listen, if you have an ugly perception of your world, that's what's going to manifest. That's your mirror right now in your life. And listen, it's easy for our perception of our world. It's easy to go backwards. Okay, I experience this in Thailand right now. It's easy to my perception to feel like, dude, it sucks. I hate this place. But then I catch myself and I alter it. I focus on what I do like, what I do love, what I do enjoy. Understand, my friends. So I'm going to end it with this. If you had everything you want in life, if you're living your dream life right now, how would that version of you perceive your world? Other than that, tribe, if you have questions about this, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you just want to comment, say, hey, Chad, what's up? I love those comments as well. But other than that, remember, I love you. Hang in there. Don't give up. You can live your dream life. You can make it happen. Okay? I 100% believe that in you. You can do this. You can make it happen. You can figure this stuff out. Okay? You got to get out of your own way. That's what you got to do. The only person holding you back is you, baby. Nobody else is holding you back. It's only you, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your identity. But you can alter it. You can fix it instantly. Okay? But other than that, tribe, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.